House executive as one of their core team members, which leads itself to believe that they will have some retail partnerships and hopefully connections at big retailers. We'll look for those upcoming, but as of yet, we haven't seen enough to that regard for me to be so excited about the retail partnerships. They certainly don't have very many stores active with just 10 test trials running. The Ian Bellina hype is not a good thing for this project. It's a very bad thing for this project. These projects already exist in a very speculative industry, a very speculative world in cryptocurrencies. A lot of these technologies are unproven, and that's certainly true of Nucleus Vision. So the fact that you add on top of that a bunch of social media hype, it lends itself to people being very much so over-enthusiastic and under-informed about a given cryptocurrency. When people don't have the right information, they act emotionally instead of logically, and that's what causes big downsides or big crashes, is when something slightly goes wrong, you get all the weak hands dumping, and it just goes down, down, down. Interesting dynamic here where we don't know how fast the adoption is really going to be. It's not going to be immediate, that's for sure. And the weak hands might not react well to a long-term hold here. I don't know. It seems like a weird recipe. In conclusion, Nucleus Vision is a really interesting project seeking to disrupt and solve a problem that affects a ton of retailers around the globe, which is how to maximize sales. They have a ton of people walking into their stores that aren't buying stuff, and retail and brick and mortar has consistently gone down over the last few decades. Given the e-commerce revolution has allowed for such a richness of data to be collected on consumers, you'd think that hybridizing and blending these two worlds would lead to a true economic boom. We're hoping that's true for all Nucleus Vision investors, but again, there are some hiccups and some roadblocks that we see on the path to adoption. They like to brand themselves as technology agnostic and say that it just doesn't matter what tech people are using for their system, but in the end, they do require that their piece of hardware, their ion sensor, is physically inside the store, and we see that as a potential roadblock. Then you have a few different layers of customer opt-in and a few different things that I'm not quite sure they're going to go always the way that Nucleus wants them to go. Obviously, in a perfect world, this would be a phenomenal project. I just get really hung up when I don't see a clear path to adoption. I do think this will potentially be adopted one day, and that if it is, that the investors are going to make crazy money, but I could also see it taking quite a long time. I could see it taking a very long time before people are realizing this world where all shops are on Nucleus Vision and everywhere you go you're getting Nucleus Encash to walk in and look at stuff. I just don't necessarily think it's going to happen that fast, and for that reason, these other drawbacks in that weak hands and hype have surrounded the coin make me very nervous about what the price could look like on Encash going to the near to mid-term futures. Obviously, if this coin or this project is successful at carrying out and building, distributing, and implementing their technology in brick and mortar stores across the world that are very highly trafficked and create a lot of revenue, then it's a no-brainer. This thing is going to move. But the reality is that I see some serious barriers in between here and there, and them saying that there aren't any barriers with technology, I think is an understatement. I think